What's going on, guys? This is Sam. Today we're going to be reviewing the iPad 6th generation, also called the iPad 2018. This is the 6th generation version of the iPad, and it is really good. It costs $329. Apple is heavily marketing this device to students for a good number of reasons. It's affordable, it has support for the Apple Pencil now, and I have so many thoughts about this device because for what you're paying, it is absolutely incredible. So I've been using this iPad for a couple weeks now, and I am genuinely impressed. I did not think an iPad that was this cheap could be this good. I'm coming from a 10.5-inch iPad Pro that has the better screen, the better processor, the better camera. It's a better device in every single way than this iPad. So I thought that going down to a $329 cheaper iPad was going to really disappoint me, but that was not really the case. There's a lot of features from the 10.5-inch iPad Pro that I've definitely missed on the 9.7-inch 2018 iPad, like the better screen, like the better processor, like a very good camera on the 10.5-inch iPad Pro. This one on here barely shoots 1080p video, and it looks like a camera from an iPhone 5 or 5S or iPhone 6. Not that those cameras are terrible, just comparing that to something like the iPhone 8 or the 10.5-inch iPad's camera, the camera on here is not very good. And I want to emphasize that that is not why you should be buying this iPad. For the best overall iPad, you should be spending $600, $700, $800 on either a 10.5-inch or 12.9-inch iPad Pro. This iPad is not for you if you want the best of the best and the best balance. However, if you want a really good iPad with good specs all the way around, I think this is exactly the device you should be looking at. So even though this is probably a great iPad for everyone, Apple specifically announced this at an education-focused event. They wanted people to know that they designed this $329 iPad for students, and they added one really big feature to this cheaper iPad. Before the 2018 6th generation iPad, to use the Apple Pencil on an iPad, you had to spend $600 or $700 or $800, which is a lot of money for an iPad maybe used in conjunction with a computer or even a desktop computer. So that's a lot of money to spend on one tablet. So Apple came out with this, the cheaper version last year. They updated it this year with better specs and Apple Pencil support. So now anybody for about $429 with a $99 Apple Pencil and the $329 iPad can take notes and draw on a cheaper device. And that's what made it really interesting for me, because as a student, you don't really have excess funds when you're in college or high school or even in grade school. If you want to get creative with the device, if you want to draw and take your notes handwritten, store them electronically, that would be really expensive on older iPads. So with this one, you can do it for a lot cheaper, and it was my first time really using the Apple Pencil, first time really getting used to it and taking all of my notes on it, learning what I liked and what I didn't like. And overall, it was a really great experience. I was blown away. So I've used this for the past week in all my classes, and the experience has been extremely positive. I really like using this device. I can't tell you how fun it is to write notes with an Apple Pencil. The latency is pretty much non-existent, even on the 60 Hz screen, non-laminated on this iPad. It's so fun to take notes, like you're writing and it shows up instantly. There's not a delay, it doesn't feel rigid or weird to write. It feels like you're writing on an iPad screen, but it doesn't feel all that different from writing on paper in general. And overall, if I had the choice to take notes on this iPad and the Apple Pencil or standard notebook and pencil or pen, I would absolutely choose the iPad and the Apple Pencil every time. It's just more enjoyable to take notes. I don't know how to describe it, it's just really fun on here. If you're somebody who loves handwriting your notes, I don't think that there's a better combo for you as a high school or college student, or even somebody who just wants to get into drawing or experiment with what it's like to use an Apple Pencil and an iPad. The premium for these two products, the Apple Pencil and the 6th generation iPad, is not that absurd, but that being said, as a college student, I like to type my notes because a lot of the time lecturers, professors go pretty quickly, and for me it's easier to just type on my notes and have them instantly searchable if I need to go back to something really quick, rather than having to handwrite them. And it's not because the handwriting experience is bad at all. The handwriting experience, I want to reinforce and tell you, it is truly something special on this product. But I like typing my notes. It's faster and it's easier for me, and although a lot of professors will cite that it's more memorable to handwrite your notes, for me it feels more memorable to just type them. It all comes down to personal preference. It's what you like to do, if you like to type versus write notes. But as good as the handwritten note-taking experience is on the 2018 iPad, I would still have a really hard time recommending it to any other college student or maybe even high school students as well. There's absolutely no way in my collegiate career especially that I could only use a $329 iPad and only a $99 Apple Pencil to do what I need to do. I type a lot of papers, and having to type it using the software keyboard on the iPad would not be a good route for me. You can buy like a Bluetooth keyboard, you can buy a special keyboard made to work with this iPad. I still don't think you'll be able to type as quickly and efficiently as you could on a more expensive laptop, whether it be Windows or Mac. But if you want a device in addition to that laptop, if you don't want something to absolutely replace your computer, this is an excellent supplement to that. I love reading PDFs on here. I like reading books on here if you're really into that or you have to read a lot for school. There's just no way I could be as quick or as efficient on this iPad and with this Apple Pencil as I could on a traditional laptop. And that's been the story with me and iPads in general, that I think Apple really tries to cover up with their marketing. Everything you can do on a MacBook, you can pretty much do on this iPad in some way, shape, or form. But for me, it's never as easy, and I would always be willing to pay, at least at this point in time, a few $100s more to get that MacBook, to get an iMac, than to make a lot of sacrifices and buy a $329 iPad and a $99 Apple Pencil. So from one college student to hopefully another student or anybody watching this video, this is an excellent supplementary device in school. It is excellent for some tasks. For taking notes in the classroom, handwritten especially, it is absolutely amazing. But at this point in time, for pretty much everything else, I still think that a MacBook is the best option. For anybody that's not a student watching this video that just wants a really great iPad, get this product. It is amazing. There's no way that for $329 you'll be disappointed. It's too good of a value. There's too much that you can do on here for the price. Another thing that I want to highlight very quickly is that if you are a student, I think that the 10.5-inch iPad Pro is a better option, but then you're also getting up into the $600, $700, $800 range, depending if you get the 10.5 or 12.9 inch. And I think that at that price range, if once again you're only looking at one or the other, only a MacBook, only an iPad, you should still go with the MacBook, because while the 10.5 and 12.9 inch iPad Pros can do things in general better than this $329 iPad, I still do not feel that they can realistically and successfully replace a laptop. So if you've been looking for an iPad, I hope this review helped you out. If you enjoyed it, feel free to drop a like down below, and of course hit subscribe if you want to see more videos and reviews like this in the future. If you want to help support the channel, you can head over to my site, shop.iupdateos.com, buy a t-shirt there. I just launched a new retro line that would be absolutely incredible. For now, I've been Sam. I hope all of you are doing great, and I will talk to you in my next video.